Hello, everybody, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Tuesday, the 11th of June. I apologize, this one's late going out. I'm recording this and releasing it immediately, as yesterday I didn't have an opportunity to record this because I took a road trip. As I've mentioned a couple of times before, we have a camp in the Diocese of Brandon, the Anglican Memorial Camp, and in just a few weeks it will be up and running with our juniors coming to camp, and we will be celebrating with them and having a great time. But that means we needed to get the camp ready, and our camp coordinator, her nickname is Rue, needed a little extra help and a big car because my assistant Cheryl was with us, and we went to Winnipeg. It was about 2.5 hours to go to places like the Wholesale Club warehouse and Costco because we needed to get supplies. And I'm not entirely sure I knew what that looked like until I got there and we were in the Wholesale Club in the candy section buying like boxes and boxes of chocolate bars and candy, those sour things and all those things, and then big boxes of coffee and big jugs of hot chocolate and vats of oil and chocolate syrup and all those things, and Pepto-Bismol and Tums and and lots of Band-Aids and all those things you need when you invite dozens and dozens of young people and children and volunteers and staff to come together to have time of reflection and play and swimming and worship, all of this happening at camp. So we made a road trip to Winnipeg to buy the stuff that will last probably the first 2 weeks of camp. It was incredible, and it reminded me of all of the details that happen to make a wonderful vacation. I remember going to camp when I was a kid, and it was amazing. We had tuck every other day, which meant our parents sort of deposited like $10 or something in the tuck bank, and we could go and we could pick out some kind of sweet treat that we were excited to have every couple of days, like a chocolate bar or some candy or something. And that's what we were picking up yesterday, the candy for. But we also ate incredible food. Like we had chicken nuggets and we had hot dogs and all kinds of foods that, we didn't eat at home every day. We also had some vegetables and things like that were, yeah, we had to eat those. But you got to balance it all. And we made s'mores over the fire. And yesterday we bought these big marshmallows and all kinds of little marshmallows to make things like Rice Krispie squares, maybe for a little bit for the hot chocolate, things like that. Just the amount of thinking that goes into preparation for something like a vacation. And just really appreciating how much work people do because they love other people. In your life, can you think of times when you have worked yourself you worked your tail to the bone, that you have just gone over and above board to help other people have a good time, whether it was maybe getting ready for a vacation or preparing someone for a new job, say it's Christmas, things like that. Time when you have completely selflessly said, I am willing to do all this extra work because they are worth it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing what the capacity we have to give of ourselves when we care about another? It's beautiful. And I think a lot about that capacity to give of ourselves because we care for another. And for those people who kind of wonder, why are you a Christian? What is it about what you're doing? Like, why do you choose to do what you do? That's essentially what it's about. Because I absolutely believe in the sacrifices that Jesus made selflessly of himself, both in his death and resurrection at the end of his life, but also during his life, making sure people were fed, healing people. How many times did Jesus get in trouble from the Sadducees and the Pharisees and all of the uppity guys in the temple because he did something on the Sabbath? He fed people on the Sabbath. He healed a withered hand on the Sabbath. He spoke to a woman. He allowed a woman to touch his hem. All these times, these are things that Jesus could have said no to. He could have said, nope, I'll wait for tomorrow. Or nope, too much work. Nope, not my problem. And yet, over and over and over again, Jesus simply moved forward, helping other people, sharing of his life, unselfless or selflessly, unselfishly, giving of himself to whomever was before him. That's what we did yesterday when Rue and Cheryl and I went to Winnipeg. We took time from our lives to get away, to go on a road trip, which in itself was incredible fun. But then at the same time, we were taking time out of our lives because all the work that should have gotten done yesterday is still on my post-it notes on my boards. All that work that should have gotten done is still here. But I feel like I have more energy to do all that work now because I took a day off. I took a day to laugh and have fun and get some scenery and see a different thing. But I know that I got to participate in helping the kids at camp have fun. I can't go up to camp for the whole week. I can't hang out with the kids, although I would love to. Not so fond of the bunk beds and the mosquitoes and that kind of thing. But I would love to be able to spend my time with each of those kids at those camps this year. And I can't. My hope is to get up for one full day for each of the 3 age groups. But yesterday I got to take the opportunity to participate in helping them to have a great time. And that felt so good. And it reminds me that if I'm truly doing what I'm called to do as a Christian, as someone who believes in Jesus and follows him and wants to follow in his footsteps, to do as he has called upon me to do in my life, it means I need to let go of my own stuff and be selfless, to be unselfish with my time, with my talents, with my treasure, to allow myself to say, this before me, this person, this situation before me, is more important than a post-it note on my wall, or getting that meeting done, or taking care of that thing that's been, I can take care of in an hour. If I deal with the person in front of me, the situation in front of me, and give them everything I have to give in this moment, I know I will not lose because in doing so, I actually win. I am blessed with knowing I've helped another person. I am blessed with the smile on their face as they say thank you. I am blessed with knowing that somebody else's stress has been a little bit relieved because I allowed them they allowed them my time to share with them not just what I've done or what I've said, but the truth that they are loved. Because essentially that's what this is all about. When we are selfless, when we do something because we care about another person, we are showing them that they are loved. And that's exactly what Jesus did for us. Whether it was the woman who touched the hem of his cloak, whether it was the man whose withered hand he healed, when it was with Jesus standing up for his disciples who were taking grain out of the fields on a Sabbath because they were hungry, Jesus stood up and said, we must do the right thing because it is the right thing, not do the wrong thing because it is the right law to follow. We all need to do that discernment piece in our lives about what are we called to do? What is the right step? How are we called to be selfless and to love another person? Because when we do that, we will change the world, one person at a time, but we will absolutely change the world. Just some stuff to think about. Have a great day. God bless, and I will be back tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel.